What's up, guys? Ricky here with another review on the Celtic Predator from AVP. I purchased this one off eBay, and it is an authentic AVP Celtic Predator. Let's take a look at it real quick. And I got a pretty good deal on it too, actually. Just to give you a little bit of insight. I originally had a bootleg version of this. Don't judge. I used to be very frugal, so I'll put it that way. And these things got super expensive, so I really couldn't afford it at the time, so I got one. So what I'll do is I'll also compare the bootleg version versus this. So then when you are trying to find potentially an authentic one, you can kind of be able to tell the difference. Here we go. So let's look up real close. So we got some really good details here. Looks really, really good. Looks like you got gray tones, a dark gray with a lighter gray dry brushed over the top. Looks really good. Got some good skin tone here. Looking really good. So I'm excited about this one. This is the front of the package. So this was pre-opened. So the person I got this from had it on display apparently. So the box actually isn't sealed. But there you go. Looking pretty good. If you want to read the bio, you can read the bio now. Just pause your screen. Okay, cool. And then here's the other ones that came in that wave. Chopper and Unmasked Scar. And then there's the other side of the package. So let's open this up and see what we're looking at. Okay, here is Celtic out of the package. And this Predator is awesome. You tell me in the comments, actually, which Predator from AVP is your favorite? I'd say as far as from the three brothers, I think is what they are, right? I'd say Celtic is probably my favorite, but I'm a huge fan of the Elder as well. Yeah, let me know in the comments which one you like better, Chopper, Scar, or Celtic. Here we go. So let's look. Obviously, we saw some of the details in the package. So we have, like I said, a dark gray with a light silver dry brushed over the top, and you can see it's kind of like that throughout. Which looks nice. You got some nice looking claws, cool looking staff. Some cool details here, a cool dagger that goes in the holster there. You have one of these things here, which is nice. And let's see, and then we got unique wrist blade, wrist gauntlet there. Looks really nice. Cool paint tones. It's the traditional AVP body mold that they did on all of them. They look good. And this particular clan is actually known for their like spiked toes, which I think is kind of fascinating. So all of them wear like a spiked type of footwear, which is kind of cool. So it's pretty neat. And they stand very tall, a lot taller than some of the other Predators in the series. So looking pretty good. So let's get into the articulation real quick. Okay, so here we go. So we have the head, looks up about that far. So it doesn't look up too far, looks down a little bit. You do have a pivot. You do have rotation side to side. And I want to apologize ahead of time. So I got paint on my fingers, so hopefully that doesn't bother anybody. I'm doing some customization and just got done with it, so still got a little bit going on there. But I have articulation on the arms. It goes up almost 90 degrees. You do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows as well, wrist articulation. You do have rotation at the gauntlet as well, which is really nice. Then you have an ab crunch, which crunches a little far forward, not too far. This material here gets in the way of it crunching too far forward, or that armor. It does crunch back quite a ways, which looks nice. And then you get obviously side to side, and you can rotate. As far as this will allow you to rotate, you can rotate. The legs go up about that far, so not too far. You can go in the splits decently far, not too far. You do have double jointed knees, and you do have a little pivot here as well, which is really nice. And then you do have ankle articulation, which is nice. So overall, as far as the AVP mold goes, this is the normal articulation for those. So now what I'm going to do is we'll get into size comparison in a second, but what I want to do is I want to compare this to the bootleg model so you can see the differences. If you're trying to purchase something, say off eBay or something like that, I know a lot of people are a little bit nervous about buying off there because they don't want to get a bootleg, but if it has pictures, you can usually tell if it is or not. So I'm going to share some ways I tell. So luckily I've been fortunate so far to get authentic models, which is good. So here we go. Let me grab the other one real quick and I'll show you the differences. Okay, here is both Celtics next to each other. Can you tell which one is the bootleg and which one is the original? I'll give you a few seconds to pick. Okay, cool. Okay, so a few things to note. So when you're looking, obviously, if you see it's from China, that is the biggest indicator that it is probably it's a bootleg. That being said, if you're unsure and say someone is selling it loose, there's a few ways you can tell. So all the authentic ones have extra paint down the middle here. That's one thing I noticed. And on all the bootlegs, it's not quite the same. You also have more yellow tones on it. It's like all the colors are just slightly brighter too. So you can see on the lenses, so it's like a really kind of dull blue, right? It's like a brighter blue, right? The bronze is kind of faded. This bronze really sticks out. And if you look at the paint application, it's a little different too. So they used a dark gray with silver dry brushed over the top. They used a black with silver dry brushed over the top. So those are some of the details. And that's why I noticed too, like if you look at the bottom, some people post pictures of the bottom. So the authentic ones will say, they have their little Neca, if it'll zoom in there, little Neca branding on the bottom. And then your bootlegs will not. So you can see that they have slots there, but no words. So that's one way indicator too. And then you can just tell, just little tiny details too. As you're holding it, I noticed a lot of the joints are a little bit kind of, not loose, but kind of flimsy. It's hard to explain. Like they're using a little bit cheaper materials. You can tell like the shoulder pad here, you could tell it got a little thin with the material, and it was like a quality thing, but because it's a bootleg, obviously they don't necessarily care. The texture on the skulls is less detailed. See, I've noticed that too. All the textures are not quite as strong. So even on the weaponry, so you can tell here. So we have so if you look here, let's see if I can get it to zoom in here. So the one on the left here, this is the hand for the authentic. This is the bootleg one. So you can tell the textures just aren't quite as vivid, which is interesting. So yeah, and just like little extra details. Like I always tell too, like the black is a lot glossier on here than on here, and it's a lot more like just caked on. And like I said, the center abdomen piece is a clear giveaway. So so I wanted to share that with you because I know sometimes people are a little nervous. I've seen that in the comments quite a few times. Where like, yeah, I don't really buy loose just because I'm scared I'm going to get a bootleg. Those are a few indicators, and I've been, like I said, I've been lucky so far. And anytime I buy anything off eBay loose, I'm really examining those details, just so obviously you don't want to spend a lot of money for a knockoff, right? So, but yeah, just thought I'd show that to you. I think it's kind of important, I'm just glad I got an authentic one in hand now. To kind of add to it. And in my opinion, I think it looks way better. I mean, you could tell they tried with the other one, but obviously Neca just does a better job, of course. So, okay, here we go. We got a quick size comparison here. Let's see, we have Celtic obviously in the middle. We have the Elder next to him to the right, and you can see he stands about the same height as the Elder. The Elder does have a biomask that goes on top of it, so it does look a little bit taller because the biomask. To the left is the new Elder Predator from the Lost Tribe, and you can tell it stands quite a bit taller. And then on the far right, you have the big red Predator, which is on kind of the original mold for the Predator, so it stands quite a bit shorter. So Celtic, let's get an exact size here. So it looks like we got a good about 8.5 inches tall, and that is going to put us at around 21.5 centimeters tall. So as far as fits in, I think it fits in pretty well. Yep, cool. Now let's get into final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts on Celtic Predator. I really like this one. I'm excited about it. So I'm glad to have this one. Like I said, it was my favorite out of the AVP Predators in the movie. So I'm glad to actually have an authentic one right in hand. So it's going to go really well with the entire group. So I'm really, I think I might be complete actually on the isolated tribe. So be on the lookout. I'll probably do a clan video before too long on it. So, but overall, I love it. So great paint applications, great details. Overall articulation is great. And this is a good purchase. I'm glad I got it for, the price I did on eBay, and it turned out to be a really good deal. So, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Definitely check out any of the clan videos. I have been doing, obviously, I've had a lot of Predator reviews coming soon, or that have came recently, so definitely check those out. And I'll keep bringing reviews, customizations, which I am working on customization now. And yeah, looking forward to catching you all in the next video. So thank you for liking and subscribing. And yeah, we're at a little over 1,200 subscribers, so let's get to 2,000. Again, thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time.